Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a do's and don'ts for makeup. Just a little quick disclaimer, I'm not saying that my way is the right way to do it. This is just something that I learned throughout the way. Anyways, so obviously the left side is the don't. And right now I'm just moisturizing my face on the right side. You always just want to make sure you prep your skin before you just jump right into the foundation. And I was all out of my Pond's, so I ended up using the baby cream, and now I'm just applying another moisturizer. And then after I'm done moisturizing my face, I like to set everything with the setting spray just so it can freshen up my face. Anyways, today I'm going to be using the Smashbox foundation. I absolutely love that foundation, especially because I have really oily skin. And as you can see, I'm applying it with my damp beauty blender. On the left side, I'm going to be using the MAC foundation, and that's just a little bit darker than my skin tone. And as you can see, I'm applying it with a brush. Sometimes when applying foundation with a brush, you just have to be a little careful, just because when you apply it in circular motions like I'm doing right there, you can not spread out the foundation evenly, or it can even get cakey. And you want to make sure you bring it down your neck as well so it can blend in. For concealer, I'm going to be using the Maybelline concealer, and it's just 1 or 2 shades lighter than my skin tone. You want to make sure that you don't grab a really light concealer, because then it's just going to look really weird under the eye. After applying your concealer, you want to make sure you always set it with a translucent powder. That way it won't crease. And it just looks way better and smooth. You want to make sure you set your whole face as well. And I'm using the MAC powder. And as you can see, I'm bringing it down my neck as well. That way it's easier when I apply bronzer and it's just not so sticky. See, I am dabbing away the translucent powder, making sure everything looks even and smooth. For the other side, I am using my MAC concealer, and that one you can right away tell that it's too light for my skin. I jumped straight into the bronzer. Sometimes you want to be careful not to go too down with the bronzer, because then it just doesn't look natural. On that side, you just want to do circular motions so it can look more natural and not so harsh on the cheeks. To contour, sometimes we get carried away and we just use a very darker color that doesn't match our skin or even our foundation. It just looks like a different color than the bronzer. So with the other side, I'm going to try to match something kind of like the bronzer, but a little just darker. And I'm not going to go far down. It's just half onto my cheekbone, as you can tell there. For blush, you want to make sure you don't apply so much either, because then it looks just really harsh and uneven. You can tell there on that side, it looks like I have 3 colors on my cheek. And then on the other side, I'm just going to go very lightly on top of that bronzer and contour so it can look as natural as possible. After finishing with my contour and bronzing and all that, I like to set everything up with my setting spray. And I like to spray some of that onto my fan brush when applying my highlighter, just so it can give it a better glow and it looks just better. On the other side, as you can tell, I haven't said anything and I just went straight into the highlight. Sometimes we get way too carried away with the highlight as well, and we just start packing it on. My nose contour, I'm not really a big fan on that. I don't really contour that much, but some does make a difference. And as you can see, I'm just lightly contouring that, as in on the other side, I'm not doing anything. So now for my eyebrows, I'm going to be using the Pomade Dip Brow from Anastasia. Now with that product, sometimes we get carried away and we don't realize that, you know, it has way too much product and it can be very harsh as well because the product is really pigmented. So we want to make sure we just do it lightly and natural as possible. As you can see on that side, I'm combing my hairs up. That way it's easier and it can look a little more natural when applying the product. I am then dabbing it a little bit on my hands so it won't be so harsh. And I'm starting right at my arch, not right in the beginning of my eyebrow. That way it can get that natural, more affection. I personally love using this spoolie because it takes away that harsh lines that the brush makes and it just gives it that more natural affection. And when I start going towards the beginning of my eyebrow, I just use what's left, the product that's left on the brush. I don't get any more because I don't want to look so dark. So to clean my eyebrows on top, and then I just I'm going to be using as well a little darker shade, more like my skin color, to clean that part because I don't want it to look so white on top as well. And for the bottom, I'm going to be using the lighter. Take away this fear of being loved, allegiance to the pain. Now I fucked up and I'm missing you. I'll never be like you. And on the other side of my eyebrows, I'm going to be using both that light concealer on both top and bottom eyebrows. And you can tell right away that it just looks weird and uneven, just looks funky, having that white on top of my eyebrows and on the bottom. For eyeshadow base, I'm going to be using my Maybelline concealer, and you want to make sure you always set that as well because then it will start creasing. As you can see there, I'm setting my concealer with a light eyeshadow, and it just makes the eyeshadows apply way easier and not crease or stick when applying them onto my lid. And I'm also highlighting my brow bone. You want to make sure you applied a light color for your transition. That way it doesn't look so harsh and it looks way more natural. Then you can start packing on the darker colors, but you want to make sure you want to blend everything out. Blend, 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 and it'll look way more natural. And as you can see on the other side, sometimes since we didn't set it and we didn't put any eyeshadow base, when applying the eyeshadow, it just looks really sticky and you can't really blend anything out either. As well as that, sometimes we tend to put a lot of darker colors onto our crease and dark on the bottom as well without blending, so it just looks a little weird sometimes. So I'm making sure I'm moisturizing my lips as well. I want to give it a little time before applying my lipstick. And then as you can see on the other side, my lips still look a little chapped. For eyeliner, sometimes when we have really dark eyeshadows, we want to make sure we just do a little wing line, but sometimes we get a little carried away since we want that perfect line. We just keep on adding and adding, and it just looks like a really, really smoky eye. And on that side, as you can see, I tried to do it as thin as I could. And it just looks more natural as well since I'm going to be applying eyelashes. A tip before applying eyelashes is make sure you wait after you applied the glue on the eyelash, because it makes it easier, way easier on applying them. Since the glue is a little bit sticky already, then you can just set the eyelash on where you want it to go and you can play with it. And as you can see on the other side right now, I didn't wait for the glue to kind of dry, and the glue went everywhere, and it just gives it a little more harder to apply the eyelash as well, and we tend to just get really annoyed and frustrated. Right there I'm applying mascara just because I want to make sure my real eyelashes stick together with the fake ones and it doesn't look so fake. And a little bit on the bottom, and on the other side I didn't do anything, and you can so tell the eyelash and my eyelashes are like separate. As far as lips, don't get me wrong, I love overlining my lips just a little bit sometimes, but you know, we get carried away a little bit and we start overlining them way too much, or sometimes we get lip liners that are way too light and don't match our lipstick that we're wearing, or either the lip liner is way too dark and our lipstick is way too light. Sometimes with the makeup look, when you have really dark eyeshadows and liner, you want to stick to something lighter on the lips so it doesn't look so dramatic in your face. As you can tell on that side, I am doing just kind of like a nudish brown lipstick so it can look way more natural than on the other side. After finishing with all my makeup, I like to set on my face with my setting spray, and as you can tell, I didn't set anything on the other side. Anyways, well, this is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and liked this video. This is just some of my tips that I used to do and I learned from them. Well, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.